Guyana is still projected to be the largest oil producer per capita. No more e-learning for most secondary school students. Cook charged with arson. And Education Ministry missing big opportunity. I'm Enrico Bolford, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. Guyana is still projected to become the highest per capita oil producer in the world by 2035, according to America's Market Intelligence. According to them, Guyana could be producing 1.4 million barrels of oil per day by 2035. This is consistent with ExxonMobil's current production goals to have 6 FPSO vessels operating offshore by 2027 and as many as 10 by the end of this decade. That is also consistent with Jagdeo's goal to drain the oil out of the ground as quickly as possible before the energy transition phases out of fossil fuels. Tomorrow is the last day of school before Christmas break, and come January 2022, when the new school term begins, grades 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 students will be expected to return fully to physical all-day classes once the Health Ministry approves of it. Grade 7 will not be returning, as most of them are below the recommended age for the vaccine. Though the 7th graders will remain at home, unvaccinated children over the age of 11 will be allowed to return to school, as they believe enough would be vaccinated by next month for it to not be an issue of mixing the vaccinated with the unvaccinated children. Back to news from Exxon. They are preparing to drill 2 new exploratory wells on the starboard block. They are named the Fangtooth 1 well and the Lao Lao 1 exploration well. This is the latest in their multi-well drilling campaign that began in mid-2021 with the drilling of the Tripletail 2 and Turboat 2 wells. This afternoon, the PNCR agreed to postpone its Congress to December 18th. The Congress was originally slated for this Saturday. The recommendation to postpone came from Vincent Alexander, who submitted a report to the party pointing to a lack of preparedness. The Central Executive Committee voted in favor of his recommendation. Nevertheless, the vote came after hours of debate on the topic, drawing strong opposition on both sides. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's car of the day. Currently on sale is this 2011 Subaru Forester XT. It comes with all-wheel drive, driving mode, Bluetooth, mag rims, new tires, TV, CD, stereo, reverse camera, rear spoiler, and much, much more. Buy cars for $4.7 million. I'll pay down as low as $940,000 down with around $106,500 monthly for 4 years, and it's yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Bureau Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lama Street, and tell them Enrico sent you for this sweet deal. A 25-year-old father of 1, Rakesh Ramcharan, was found dead in the parklands of No. 11 Village, West Coast Bippies, some 2 weeks after he had gone missing. His body was badly decomposed, but family members were able to identify him based on the clothes he was wearing and his national ID card, which was found in his possession. The police are currently investigating the cause of death. In a strange and ironic twist, 33-year-old Solomon Sukram drowned in a canal yesterday while he was teaching children how to swim at the Felicity Park Dam. According to the police, Sukram had had a few drinks before he plunged into the water and subsequently did not resurface. The police said after his body was found, the family tried desperately to resuscitate him, but to no avail. The police said no visible marks of violence were on Sukram's body. 35-year-old Ryan Chung was charged yesterday for allegedly setting fire to his ex-girlfriend's house in an attempt to kill her and their children because she refused to take him back after he was released from prison on a narcotics and armed robbery charge. Nevertheless, he pleaded not guilty to the arson. Chung was remanded to prison and will be back in court on January 6, 2022, meaning he will be spending Christmas behind bars. Are you still using a Mongol pelter by choice, or you simply can't afford a new cell phone? Well, good news for you! Digicel is slashing prices in half on the Samsung A3, the DL3 Pro, and Pro Plus this Christmas. Upgrade to a brand new smartphone for just $9,750 at any Cellular Plus Digicel store. This offer includes a free 1-month Prime Bundle data plan. Pro tip, smartphones make good presents. The Health Ministry just commissioned the addition of 33 beds to the maternity unit at the Georgetown Public Hospital. which is needed because according to statistics, over 40% of babies born in Guyana are born at the GPHC. 5,942 babies were born at the hospital in 2020, a slight decrease from the number of babies born in 2019. Meanwhile, 14,000 to 15,000 babies are born in Guyana per year. Now it's time for today's Rona Report. Today, the nation recorded 69 new cases. There are now 1,014 persons dead, 14 in the ICU, and 822 in home isolation. And the total number of confirmed cases around the nation now stands at 38,402. So please, wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your nose and mouth and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds, and remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. You there, Mr. Truckman, get all your high-quality truck parts at 5 to 15% off during the Christmas season. Nice up your truck and get it ready for work in 2022. Visit Powered Automotive Truck Spares and Engine Parts at 1161 EE Eccles. They are the biggest truck parts store in Guyana with a wide variety of parts and exceptional customer service. Call or WhatsApp 697-0171. And now for our stupid news of the day. You know what I think is stupid? Politicians' ability to miss a golden opportunity when possible. I had recommended some months ago that the Ministry of Education should use this period of school closures as an opportunity to completely reinvent the education curriculum to one that will actually equip our youths for the skills they will need to excel in the modern 21st century world. Instead, they wasted the past year and a half being busy rather than productive. They could have introduced new classes to the curriculum that focus on the arts, digital literacy, STEM subjects, communications, personal finance, including emotional wellness could have even been visited. Then they could test children to see what their interests are early on and how best they can be led down that particular career path. Such a program, or at least something similar to that, actually used to exist in this nation. But that idea was scrapped, just like this golden opportunity. The kids are only getting a few new books, maybe a few electronics, and a whole oil and gas lesson plan sponsored by the oil companies and GTNT. When you think about it, it honestly makes no sense for us to establish an expensive diploma program at UG to set our youths up for jobs in a dying, polluting industry that's literally on its way out. Instead, we should educate the students to become the next generation of Guyanese engineers and scientists focused on green solutions to power the nation. Realistically, Exxon is not going to hire more than 2,000 or 3,000 Guyanese, but a focus on green solutions to our national development issues will definitely build an industry that can employ thousands upon thousands of Guyanese, and can even cause them to even be financially sufficient on their own, from starting businesses. And to deny such an industry to grow in favor of short-term oil gains is pretty stupid. Moving on to our Uncut News Views Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So you give your responses in the comments and we'll read the best ones in the following episode. Yesterday's question was, incidents like what we saw at Christchurch Secondary is sadly more common than we'd like to admit. What should we, as well as the government, do about it? Richie K says, invest in sports, arts, music, dancing, more kid-friendly, family fun activities. Give kids things to do. Liquor is killing the country. It sets a terrible example for young minds. Normalized trauma. I agree. Angie the Atheist says, we need more responsible parents and students, and they should be better monitored while at school. That's also true. And finally, Barefoot Wanderer says, sadly, these kids don't understand how their conduct will follow them in life. They obviously want attention, so give them the attention they seek and ask them how they see this conduct affecting them 7 years from now, from the perspective of finding a proper job and the circle of friends. And 2, ask them to put pen to paper and write an essay on how they would correct this conduct if they saw other kids' behavior. So, stop being politically correct. Raise the standards and teach them to do better. You'll help them raise their EQ levels. So, before we get to tonight's question, you can move into your very own luxury home in 2022. Lenora Estates West Coast Samarara Properties could have you saying goodbye to your landlord in no time. Call or WhatsApp 592-618-5702 and ask about in-house financing. So for tonight's question, the Education Ministry wants the teens to go back to school whether vaccinated or not. How do you feel about this? Think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in the next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Enrico Wilford saying good night, folks. Hey, Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.